are some amazing mediums, and they're all able to tell fantastic stories, And there's that snobbish, dismissive attitude, certainly here in the West, and from the film community, that like looks down on all sorts of projects or mediums and genres, and that is a huge fucking turnoff for me. That is a ridiculous statement. Well, I know Denis Villeneuve said he hates dialogue. What? Really? This is his quote: "Dialogue is for theater and television. I don't remember movies because of a good line." What? "I remember movies because of a strong image. I'm interested in dialogue at all." Well, I can tell. "Pure image and sound, that is the power of cinema, but it's something not obvious when you watch movies today. Movies have been corrupted by television." Okay. That's fucking stupid. That is... wow. When did he say this? Is this recent? That is... dialogue is for theater and television. That is... No. What do you mean? And that presumption, I don't remember movies because of a good line. There are so many movies with amazing dialogue and lines. There are films defined by their dialogue and lines. And like when we do movie references, we don't reference the image. We reference the line. Excuse me? That is ridiculous. Wow, well, that makes a lot of sense now. That is a snob statement. Did he do that? Did he say that like marketing Dune? Wow. Well, I fucking 100% disagree. 110% disagree with him. Holy shit. Well, now that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of fucking sense. Wow. Well, now I'm concerned about Dune Part 2. Like hearing that. Let me read that statement again. This is a quote. "Dialogue is for theater and television." First of all, dialogue's for everything. I mean, I remember movies because, plus the shit on television, which a number of TV shows have actually, in terms of like the narratives that they've had, are absolutely incredible. Again, I fucking hate that. That mindset that something like television or animation is lesser compared to this medium. I just don't like that. Plenty of medium. There are some amazing mediums, and they're all able to tell fantastic stories, And there's that snobbish, dismissive attitude, certainly here in the West, and from the film community, that like looks down on all sorts of projects or mediums and genres, and that is a huge fucking turnoff for me. That is a ridiculous statement. I'm going to read this. "Dialogue is for theater and television. I don't remember movies because of a good line. I remember movies because of a strong image. I'm not interested in dialogue at all. Pure image and sound, that is the power of cinema, but it is something not obvious when you watch movies today." There's a lot of assumptions going on here. Movies have been corrupted by television. Wow. Yeah, I know. Way to shit on screen. Way to say fuck you to screenwriters. Wow. No tucky, only cinema. When Brolin said, "I'm smiling," I thought, Thanos came out a little bit. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, GC. He was a guy in hospital, not just a picture of his ball. Oh, okay. Weird. But his balls are just hanging out, huh? Does he only watch slideshow? I would say exposition is bad, not dialogue inherently. Yeah. Unless he's been misinterpreted. That's a very snob. Yeah, it's recent. Wow. Huh. Hamilton, well, apparently the guy... Oh, you're talking about the... I don't want to hear about the balls anymore, guys. Okay? I don't want to hear about the ball sack. I'm good. I'm like, thank you for telling me I'm good. Denis Villeneuve, frankly, I hate... When is this? This was fucking, like, yesterday! Frankly, I hate dialogue. Dialogue is for theater and television. What a stupid fucking thing to say. Denis Villeneuve is credited screenwriter on 6 of the acclaimed features. Maybe he's like, I'm a bad writer. He has directed including Dune Part 1, for which he received a Best Adapted Screenplay nomination, which I would not have nominated him for, from the Academy, but not directing nomination. He is, however, not a fan of dialogue. Frankly, I hate dialogue, the filmmaker told the Times of London, so pretty much the quote. Movies have been corrupted by television. Describing his ideal situation, the Dune Part 2 Helmer said, "In a perfect world, I'd make a compelling movie that doesn't feel like an experiment, but does not have a single word in it either. People would leave the cinema and say, wait, there was no dialogue," but they won't feel the laugh. Now, I'm not saying that you can't tell a story or a movie without dialogue, like there are obvious examples of that. Not many, but there's obvious examples. But just to say that that like dialogue is inherently bad and that television has corrupted it. That is. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is profoundly stupid. Wow. It is, of course, a debate. Yeah, no shit. That began about a century ago of the first Takis, and probably before that. Will continue long after Dune Part 2 hit theaters. Wow. It finds a counterpoint in a clip of Ethan Hawke that has resurfaced on TikTok of late. In it, Hawke is speaking to the Film Society of Lincoln Center in 2018, expressing his own opinions about what directors should learn in film school. This drives me crazy. Every film school you go to, they always teach cinematography, Hawke said. They say it's a visual medium, and it is a visual medium, yes. If you think about the history of cinema and how many great film directors were cinematographers, not very many actually. If you think about how many great filmmakers are actors, it's a lot. Woody Allen, Orson Welles, Spike Lee, Warren Beatty, Robert, etc. Continuing with a line of argument that likely makes ASC headspin Hawke, who himself his Dark Sixty channels went further. Is cinematography super easy to stare in? Yes, it's two-dimensional. You could sit back behind the monitor, don't have to get messy. Hawke went on getting specific about the ideas of the importance of dialogue. Acting and directing are the same, he maintained. They are interpretive art. They are taking great writing and sharing it. That's true. It's about saying to be or not to be. That's a great line. Let me explain why it's not. Now, I don't, I'm not saying like cinematography is easy. I mean, that's a skill that you need to obviously, hone over time. Like, I just get from there. But yeah, I think. But yeah, directing and writing definitely share a lot. How are you interpreting the written word? They do have a lot in common, and they serve each other to great effect. But yeah, I 100% disagree with Denis Villeneuve on that. I can't even. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around that. I've never heard like a director. You know what that sounds like to me? Like that statement. That straight up sounds like something Michael Bay would say. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like something like Michael Bay or like Zack Snyder would say to me, honestly. And I just did not expect that from him. Wow. All right then. I mean, yeah, I disagree with his opinion. I'm putting this in the review. I was like, do part 1 review, but I was like, I just don't, I'm hoping for the best for Dune Part 2. Now I'm just kind of like, all right, well, how is the dialogue in Dune Part 2, chat? Now I'm asking you guys. This kind of fucking floored me hearing this. Wow. Pretentious as fuck. Denis Villeneuve sounds extremely pretentious. Yeah, I don't like to throw that word out there a lot, but I'm gonna throw that word out there. We could do that. We can throw that out there easy. No doubt. Describe this. Yeah, cinematography is easy. Every tube movie would look fucking. Yeah, true. Yeah, no, cinematography it's an acquired skill, but I don't like this whole thing like one thing is better than the other. I mean, Denis Villeneuve is dead fucking wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm like, that's his opinion. I'm like, no, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh God, wow. Biggie Smith's like, bring back the silent movies. Well, didn't he also criticize Marvel movies, especially in the movie with Marvel actors? You got Moon Knight, MJ, Drax, Thanos, Selvig, Ant-Man's Russian friend, Part 2, Yelena. I mean, I'm sure he did. I'm not surprised by that. Of course, sounds like something from when the talkies first came out, but seen as his movies are super boring with nothing going on. Sounds about right to Serenity with the spice. You're throwing your own spice in there. Cinema was ruined by the talkies. Denis Villeneuve. God, yeah, I don't agree with him at all. I don't understand his perspective. I'm very confused by that. Weird. Very weird. The dialogue's solid, but it's not the focus. Well, it doesn't feel like it's constantly trying to be quotable or meme. Well, I'm not saying like it's got to be a meme or anything like that. I mean, nothing like that. But if it's not that's a big thing with me. I mean, I guess I like films they have like really cool dialogue. I guess that's like it's interesting. So him and Mike Flanagan would not get along very well because I recently just came off of watching, The Fall of the House of Usher, and so much of that is people having conversation, but there's these wonderful, intense, interesting like conversations, and they're fascinating. And I love them. And that's a man that loves a monologue, no doubt. And yeah, I'm more on that side, 100%. I'm more invested in a if you can tell a story. That's when I really admire, if you can admire a filmmaker, where they can have an entire movie take place in a single room and just rely on the dialogue that is spoken to make it intense and interesting. I mean, fuck, that's how like Quentin Tarantino got started. Quentin Tarantino would probably disagree with Mr. Villeneuve. Wow. Yeah, I bet a lot of like combination like writer directors, where they're primarily known for like directing stuff that they have written. Wow, that is so fucking pretentious and stupid. Holy shit. Wow. Maybe he's an idiot. Maybe that's what it is. And maybe it's just been dumb, sheer fucking luck. And maybe the cat's out of the bag. He's like, I've been stupid the whole time. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. Wow. That is insane. I think a movie that's not about dialogue, it's the work of the person doing it. I mean, yeah, you could do a silent. I mean, of course, that's how the film originally started, but just to say dialogue is ruining movies and television, man, that whole thing, that really all sticks in my craw. So yeah, fuck all the people that wrote these amazing TV shows. Man. Wow, my opinion, like I'll tell you what, chat, like I was like, I haven't liked every single movie he's done, but I was like, you know what, this guy is like really talented and he's got a lot going for him and I still want to see more from him. But after that statement, I'm kind of like, you know what, fuck you, dude. I'm just like, wow, okay, well, Dune Part 2 review coming this week. Alrighty, man. He would hate The Social Network. Yeah, that's, I think, one of the defining films of the 2010s. Like David Fincher. I mean, I guess Alan Sorkin would have a couple of things to say about this. Yeah, I think The Social Network is like one of the defining films of the 2010s. I think it is the defining film of the 2010s for me personally. It's my favorite movie from the 2010s, and that's mostly a movie about conversations. He must have loved Tenet. Yeah, I guess so. You can't even hear the dialogue. You're not supposed to hear the dialogue. Christopher Nolan told us, no, you're not supposed to hear what's going on in the scene. I'm like, I feel like I should. No, you're not supposed to hear. Okay. Why even have it there? Sasquatch movie is going to be ultimate test of that theory, yeah. Sasquatch Sunset, Skunkite. They have the best screenplay categories at award ceremonies for a reason, yeah. I get what he is saying to an extent. He said dialogue isn't the most important thing. It wouldn't come off as bad. I hear most people say all the time, you have to see the film on a big screen, go to the theater. I'm like, it's the same voices saying the same word. It doesn't matter the size of the screen, but those are the people that are hyper-fixed on the visual elements. I guess that's true. Like, I'm not one of those people, personally. And, to each their own. Like, again, I'm not saying, like, you're fucking wrong. Like, I don't necessarily need to go to the theater to watch a film to, like, fully enjoy it, I mean, I saw Avatar in the theater. I'm like, it's pretty. But I could have saw that at home and been perfectly fine, I mean, he got up there and said, maybe he's an idiot. I mean, it could be that. It could be as simple as that for all I know. Maybe he can't read. You can tell they're dialogue. No shit. Denny's Grand Slam. They're called silent movies. Yeah. Yeah, the lemonade monologue. Good to have you here, Zardo Moon. Welcome. I love Sicario. Let's see here. Fuck yeah, man, the sandworm he wrote in on. I hope that he was saying was taking on a content. I don't know. That feels... It feels like that was an interview. I haven't read the article. I just read the article. It's like, it seems pretty clear. Hope that he was saying, I'm a dialogue guy. That's why I love Shakespeare, Game of Thrones, and theater in general, because of the dialogue. Can't relate at all. You better never read a Tom King or Jonathan Hickman. Oh, I know. Fucking, they love dialogue. Brian Michael Bendis. Oh, he does. He said he's a masterpiece several times. He said Tenet is. Ugh. Tenet fucking sucks. I really hate that movie. Maybe he can't write. Well, he wrote the Dune movies, didn't he? Didn't he write part one? Let me see. Maybe as a co-writer. Oh, he does. John Spates, who's written a lot of sci-fi projects. John Spates is a co-writer along with Eric Roth. Or at least, this is for Dune 1. Hold on, maybe for Dune Part 2. Let's see here. Dune Part 2. It's just it's him and John Spates. Interesting. What has John Spates done? The Darkest Hour. Ooh. Prometheus. Oh, fuck. Doctor Strange, that's right. I think it was an initial draft by John Spates. And then, didn't Cargill and Derrickson also co-write Doctor Strange? Passengers. Oh, my God. The Mummy. Jesus. Or just credit as a story. Just credit for story. But still. And, the 2017 Mummy. And then Dune and Dune Part 2. Yeesh. Man. I prefer the theater because you're less easily distracted by shit like your phone or pets if you have them. Only thing is I like was Prisoners. I only saw one. Prisoners is really good. Basically, there's a lot of fart sniffing when it comes to the discussion of film as art. Definitely a lot of fart sniffing going on. Definitely a lot of fart sniffing from him. Upper visuals, but dialogue can be incredible, and it's all right. And, of course, the source article is hidden beyond a paywall, so we can't even read the whole thing in context. Oh, I read it. I read the thing. I'm back, Jarvie. Welcome back, Jarvie. I just learned something about Denis Villeneuve that kind of threw me for a fucking loop. I realized the other day a monologue to an actor is like getting a solo for a choir singing. Yeah, totally it is. Yeah, it's when they really show off. They're like, oh, I can really dive into this and show what I have. Yeah, Ikara about Dune movies. There might be the only movies where Spates' stuff actually makes it to the final cut. Oh, because he did drafts and they rewrite them. Yeah. Well, it doesn't count to be since it's an adaptation of the book. What I mean is he can't write dialogue or find it challenging. Gotcha. Derrickson Cargill took over after he wrote the first draft or so. Well, I got 2 gems in that writing. Same thing happened on Prometheus. Did the first draft. They got everyone excited first, and Lindelof took over, right? So Darko's Times London deadlines just took the headlights. Gotcha. I don't know. I mean, when you make such a declarative statement like that, that's very disappointing to hear, to read. But it explains a lot. Like, after watching this movie, I'm just like, God, the fucking characters are so flat. The dialogue's so flat. And it's like, oh, now I have that context. And it makes so much more sense now. If that's how he feels. It's like, yeah, I can tell. So, yeah, yeah, wow. That's disappointing. I think that's his point. I think that's and the honest chat, I think that's a really fucking stupid thing to say. Well, there you go. Dune Part 1. Dune Part 1, Chad. There you go. Hope you liked it. Wow. It's kind of a downer, to be perfectly honest. Oh, well. Haven't just watched Patches recently. The movie Scream's heavily written afterwards. I want to know what the original script of that for Passengers was like. I don't watch Twitch for the dialogue, Biggie Smith. That's fair. You don't watch it for my dialogue? I feel like what I have to say is funny sometimes. Magic is being the lone person Chris I do when you see it. Prepare for the. Oh, I know. Well, yeah. We'll see. I'm going to go in. I mean, I was looking forward to it. I was like, you know what? Maybe he's going to address all the things that I took issue with the first film. But, man, after reading that, I don't fucking know. Jesus. You watch for your lovely face in the juicy bill. I got all that in spades. Definitely got that. Yeah, chat. Sorry, I'm just kind of, I don't know, taken aback. He watches every movie on mute. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Comics, I'm just here for the chat. That's fair. I think the original draft was more of a thrill. They actually called out how fucked up the whole thing was, but when they attached Lawrence and Pratt, they sanded it down to make it more of a romance. That was a huge mistake. It would have been an awesome fucking thriller. Never meet your heroes. Yeah. I would ask him about this. I would really ask him about this. Because I would say, like, you know, I wouldn't be afraid. I have no interest in doing interviews, personally. You know, there's only a couple people I would interview. But if I would interview him as, like, you know, I would call him out to say, like, no one remembers. Like, that whole line of no one remembers a movie for a line. That is so fucking ridiculous. Like, all the iconic lines across just cinema history. Like, when we say, I mean, I don't know, pick a fucking quote out of a hat, chat. You know, I'll be back. You know, it's just like, we know exactly what you're talking about. You know, may the force be with you. It's like, everyone knows what you're talking about. Bitches leave, you know, like RoboCop. Everyone knows what you're talking about, chat. Can you fly, Bobby? You're gonna need a bigger boat. You know, they're here. You know, God. I mean, film is defined. Luke, I am your father. Like, it's defined by by a line, a dialogue. It was horrible. Yellow eyes. Yeah. It's, yeah, you can make a movie where it doesn't have any dialogue. Of course. That's how fucking film started. Like, yes, of course. And people have still, it's not like a frequent thing, but at the same time, you can do a movie where it's just nothing but a conversation. So yeah, hi Mark, yeah. So I would confront him on that. I'd be like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Are you like?" I would tell him like, that's what you just said is bullshit, right? There are so many iconic pieces of dialogue and exchanges between characters and monologues that people fucking quote to this day. I hate sand. It's rough, coarse, and irritating, and it gets everywhere, chat. Some of the fuckers always trying to ice skate uphill, 100%. Yeah, life finds a way. To be fair, a lot of writers have a catalog of good and bad. For example, Michael Green, who co-wrote Logan, Blade Runner 2049, and wrote Blue Eye Samurai, and rewrite for Blade also. I'm not saying writers are infallible. It's like, of course, I'm just my whole thing is it's just like I don't think what he's saying is true. To be perfectly honest, it's just such a weird. That's a weird hill to die on. Okay. Fair enough. All right, fair enough, chat. Yeah, sorry I didn't mean I was going on the tangent there. I didn't mean to kind of freeze up. I was just processing this. It's so weird. Okay. All right, well, fair enough. Oh, I mean for John Spade's writing. Oh, I see what you're saying. GC. Yeah. No, I get you. No, I mean, you're right. Yeah, I mean, yeah. What's his name? The guy you brought up before. Yeah, he wrote Alien Covenant. I talked about that, matter of fact, during my Blue Eye Samurai review, that he wrote Covenant. And Green Lantern, fuck. Oof. Well, he's doing better now. I had to process the stupid. Yeah, I did. It broke my bank. It had been a while since I've heard someone say something that dumb. And I was just like, wow. I will find him. I was like, okay. I don't know the full context, but I'm guessing he said dialogue is important compared to the visuals. I read the quote. I read the quote that he said. I think dialogue is important, but for me, the really important stuff is visual. I 100% think a movie with no dialogue can be done. I mean, of course, I'm not saying it can't. I seen some short films, even independent movies with no dialogue that were good. How movies start out with no dialogue. Yeah. I just and then the other part of it is the dismissiveness of television. Man, there is this weird thing. Like a lot of filmmakers they look down on TV a lot. And I'm just like, really? After in the era post Sopranos, we're still living in the post Sopranos changed everything in terms of dramatic television, narrative television. It without the Sopranos, we would not have gotten The Wire. We would not have gotten Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. I mean, you name any Succession, any of the Barry, any of these shows, dramatic horror genre, anything across. This wouldn't happen. And to say our shit's better than that shit, it's like I don't like that. That really rubs me the wrong way. It's like you can do so many amazing things in so many mediums. There's this dismissive, and it's always been a part of Hollywood and a number of the top tier, quote unquote, filmmakers that have kind of hammered that to this day, that this is better than animation, that this is better than television, that this medium is better than whatever medium, video games or, another example. And I'm just like, no. All these different mediums do these amazing things, and sometimes they do them better in other things, Again, it depends. But just to have this blanket statement, it reeks of stupidity. most certainly stupidity. But just what's the word I'm thinking of, chat? Someone who has an inferiority complex. Someone who's just scared. I don't know. Insecurity, that's it. Insecurity, stupidity, and thank you, Darkslayer. Stupid and elite, certainly elitism. Yeah, stupidity and insecurity. So yeah, maybe Denis Villeneuve is just a stupid, insecure man. Wow. A fart sniffer. So director and actors start off in TV, and they forget. They always forget that's how they get their start, and then they dismiss the medium that may have made them what they are. The world's changing and scares them. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are gravitating towards television because, well, in a lot of cases, TV writing is better than cinematic writing or film writing. I'm not saying that across the board, but it's clear what people are, going towards for dramatic TV. So people are watching, these either these multi-season shows or these miniseries. They're gravitating towards things like Succession or Beef or in animation, like Blue Eye Samurai from last year, chat, which was that was one of the best written shows of last year, one of the best written things of last year. And I'm not going to say, well, it's good for... And this would be so shitty of me to say, where it's well, that's good for TV, or that's good for animation. You know what it reminds me of? When I was doing my Lisa Frankenstein... Remember when I did my Lisa Frankenstein review from a few weeks back? One of the films that came out this February. The movie was fine. There's things I like. It was a mixed bag of film. I think I liked it more than I didn't, but it had problems. But... I was putting together, I want to do a short. I wanted to put together a short of my top 5 favorite Frankenstein movies, right? And I include stuff like, Young Frankenstein and Curse of Frankenstein, one of the Hammer Frankenstein movies, which was really good. And a couple other films, obviously, and also the classic ones, Frankenstein 31. I put Son of Frankenstein in there and Bride of Frankenstein. And I kind of went down a little rabbit hole briefly where I was looking at old reviews for the Frankenstein, those monster movies, which now are considered to be classics and incredibly influential and created these iconic monsters. And if you read any reviews back in the day for those movies, even though that they were huge commercial successes, so often in those old reviews, I would constantly read, it's great for one of those kinds of movies. It's great for one of those horror films. And it always read that smugness and that pretentiousness, and just this idea that it's lesser than anything else. And I just really don't like that. And that's what Denis Villeneuve, he sounds like those people. And that's, I think, very disappointing for a man who indulges in a genre that was literally constantly dismissed and ridiculed and called lesser when compared to other genres of that time period. And even to this day. And I think that is... That's profoundly disappointing. Very disappointing from him. And that's kind of changed my perspective on him certainly as a filmmaker. So, we'll see. I'll do my review. I'll do it. I'll hopefully upload it Friday morning or Friday afternoon, chat. Yeah. I know. Yeah, now it's late. I was gonna do. Let me check. Let me go into. But you guys see what I'm saying? It's the stuff that he's saying is, and I said this before, you have all these filmmakers now that talk down about the state of film or cinema or whatever it is. And it's but literally the people that were older than them when they were first coming up were literally talking down to them and saying how they didn't know what they were doing back in the day and how they were bastardizing cinema. It's just this fucking endless cycle. It's just it just never ends. It's so weird. We had all these filmmakers back in the day that had their rise in the 40s and 50s and 60s. And then you had the 70s where you had all these big filmmakers like Scorsese and Lucas and Spielberg. And I mean, you pull a name out of a fucking hat and you had those filmmakers talking down to them and dismissing them and what they were doing. And it's now those filmmakers are doing the same thing. And it's what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Because those filmmakers used to do that to you. It's so utterly bizarre. All right. I'm getting mad. You die here, you live long enough to become a pretentious fart sniffer. So, that's what happens. All right. Okay. I need some wine. I got to get some wine. I got to turn my air off. I'm chilly. Chad. Hold on. Hold on, I didn't mean to go off on a whole fucking thing, but no, who brought that up, by the way? Was that you who brought that up to me? Thank you for bringing that up to me, because that'll actually make for a good ending portion for my, because I'm gonna edit this. I need a jug wine refuel, but who brought that up before?
5 minutes later.
Oh, GC, that was me, GC. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate that. That'll make for a good end portion of the review. Maybe I might put it up separately, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I made Chris go on a rant. Yeah, you did. You did. Wow. Well, all right. Okay. Well, chat, cheers and salute to you. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. You're shaking the pillars of heaven as we speak.